We are drugged out. We are following other people's opinions. We are controlled by the media. And today it all changes.
Those people who see Kanye as crazy really have not taken time to think deeply about what he says.
Kanye, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. You want to think freely? That's fine. I'll combat your free thought with my free thought because mine is grounded in a reality that I have been given and a reality that I'm going to change, but I'm not going to do it by pretending that the enemies are on the same team as me. And frankly, I'm disappointed.
Listen to this perfect response.
He said, grounded in reality. This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice, just like when I said slavery is a choice. The reality, we can make our own reality. We can talk about history, but not too long. We need to talk about our now because we can fix and start loving each other now. When I say we have no enemies, we don't have enemies. Black people have a tendency to focus and march when a white person kills a black person or wears a hat. But when it's 700 kids being killed in Chicago, it's okay.
What Kanye West said is just the same as what Denzel Washington said a few years ago. We blacks don't want to take responsibility sometimes. I don't deny the fact that a lot of evil things have happened to us, but that's not the end of the road. We can stand up and change the outcome of the future. We don't have to accept the tag that evil people put on us. Denzel Washington says we should not blame the system because we can do something to save ourselves before the system comes in.
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, yeah, they're little yummies. I said, who? He said, little yummies. Look up, Google Lil Yummy. Lil Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer.
Wow.
And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, and he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Who's doing life now, and a 16-year-old.
That makes no sense.
You blame the system? Where was his father?
Yeah.
It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And yeah, well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
Yeah.
That's exactly what Kanye West has been telling us all along, but we refuse to listen. Kanye West sparked controversy when he made a statement that seemed to suggest that slavery was a choice. His exact words were, "When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice." This remark caused an immediate uproar and received widespread condemnation.
You didn't mean people being abducted and brought into slavery and put into chains was a choice. What you were talking about is people making decisions that would enslave them financially and enslave their life.
Yeah.
But it was taken out of context and it was taken in the least charitable way, and they decided to try to say, look at crazy Kanye, look at this shit he's saying.
Yeah.
And then they medicate you.
Yes.
It is important to understand the context of West's statement. Kanye was discussing mental enslavement, suggesting that blacks had allowed themselves to remain mentally enslaved even after physical slavery ended. However, people thought his choice of words was highly insensitive and failed to acknowledge the historical reality of slavery. Which was not the case. Kanye actually acknowledged the historical reality of slavery. The only thing he was saying was that we shouldn't sit on it for too long but instead focus on building ourselves because that's the only thing that can get us out of that space. Kanye West's comments drew a strong backlash from the public, including fellow celebrities, activists, and historians. Many people argued that his statement minimized the suffering that slaves endured and ignored the structural and systemic factors that kept slavery alive. Kanye West later clarified his remarks, stating that his intention was to encourage independent thinking and free thought rather than diminish the severity of slavery. But even after doing that, people seem not to understand anything he says. We only have one shot this time around. We won't find many fearless soldiers nowadays like Kanye, who has sacrificed everything to speak out for us. Let's protect this legend at all costs.